Okay, for the last month, I've tested over 30 different MacBook apps. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the top 5, starting with an app that Apple should have built in a long time ago called SuperIsland. It basically does everything that the dynamic island on iPhone does, just on your Mac, including music controls and a bunch of really cool niche features, including a temporary file cache. Because if you ever tried to move files around on a MacBook, you know how annoying it can be at times, but this completely solves that problem. And it also lets you do AirDrop really easily. And if you're a programmer or developer like me, then it has this really cool niche feature that lets you see your AI usage on your machine. So for me, I use Codex all the time and I've used 95% of my tokens. SuperIsland also has a built-in focus timer with these little cute mascots that work when you do. Just a cool little feature, I love it. But for those of you with a keen eye, you might have noticed that my wallpaper is actually moving, and that brings us to the second app called WallSpace. WallSpace is actually a wallpaper engine built for macOS, and it has an extremely large catalog of 2D animated wallpapers. And if you want to, you can drop $15 one time, and it gets you access to animated lock screens and a bunch of other cool features. So if that sounds really cool to you, then go ahead and hit the link in the description, or it should be somewhere on the screen. But even if you don't buy the paid version of WallSpace, you still get a really large catalog of like 4K 2D animated wallpapers. It's a really cool app. Moving on to the next app, if you pay for an Adobe subscription, I might just end it for you right now because the next app is called Affinity and it's a free alternative to Photoshop. But the craziest thing about this app is that it does so much more than Photoshop and it's completely free. In fact, the thumbnail that made you click on this video was made in Affinity. Because Affinity can do so much, it's kind of hard to give you the main features, but if you ever use Photoshop, it's like that, but better. I'll link some actual videos down below that can walk you through how to use Affinity, but let's move on to the next app. Now, if you've ever tried to take a screenshot or even a screen recording on Mac, you know how hard it can be to just find those controls or actually make the screenshot yours. So the next app, Shottr, fixes that problem. It's a really lightweight app and it lives at the top of your menu bar, and if you use it to take your screenshots, you unlock a whole new world of features. Because after you take a screenshot, it basically lets you annotate it. Not only can you put text on your screenshot, you can also do arrows to point at different things on your screen. It's a really cool app. And like basically every other app in this video, Shottr has a bunch of hidden cool features. I know we've all been watching a YouTube video or been on a website where it says to scan a QR code, but you don't really want to whip out your phone, so Shottr lets you scan the QR code on your screen. It's one of those tiny lightweight apps that you don't really need, but once you download them, you see how helpful they are. And it's just like the last app in this video. The video that you're watching right now has been heavily edited. Every time I messed up or just had to think, that's all been edited out. And the only reason why I've been sitting here for about an hour and my screen hasn't cut off is because of this app called Amphetamine. And like the last app, this app doesn't do anything super fancy. It simply just keeps your MacBook awake. It was designed for people that do 3D modeling or programming or make really long videos like me. Because if you have ever tried to render a video or maybe a 3D model and it takes an extremely long time because it's highly detailed or whatever, you know that your MacBook can just decide to cut off and cancel your entire render. It's extremely annoying. But Amphetamine completely fixes that problem. You can configure exactly how long you want your Mac to stay awake, or you can just configure indefinitely, which is what I do. So that's Amphetamine. It's not the flashiest app in this entire video or in the whole world, but it's probably saved me more frustration than any other Mac app. So between WallSpace and SuperIsland making my MacBook look really clean and Affinity saving me hundreds of dollars, these apps have all earned their place on my MacBook. So if you're looking for some more MacBook apps, then go ahead and click this video right here. It has some hidden gems and also just some of my favorite MacBook apps. But that's all for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.